Hi, today I want to talk with you about 5 things that are good to remember when negotiating repairs. And keep in mind that this is about a house that has been previously owned, not about new construction. This is a house someone else has lived in, they're selling it, and you're buying it from them. So let's get right to it. One of the big things I like to point out is that the repair amendment is for repairs. It is not for wants. So say the house is very outdated and it needs different countertops. It's got old laminate countertops and you are wanting granite, cement, something different. That's a want, not a need. Unless the countertops are failing and unfunctional, then it's appropriate to ask for either repair or funds for that. Another thing that I want to point out is that it is very good to prioritize your big items. So by that, I mean things like the HVAC system and your roof. So when I'm talking about these two things, it kind of goes into item number 3, which is to stay in the present. So let's talk about those 2 systems again, that HVAC system and that roof. If the roof is 20 years old, but it's in good shape, and it just has a few minor things wrong with it, can you ask for a new roof? Or is it possible to ask for a credit because you know you're going to be having to replace it in about 10 years? The answer is no. Now you can ask for repairs and get those few things that are wrong with it on there. Same for the HVAC system. Say it's older, you know it's on its last leg, but it's working the day of the inspection. What can you ask for? You can ask for the system to be cleaned, the system to get a maintenance check, but you can't ask for a new system because that one's old. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't call it very smart negotiating tactics. You want to stick to what the present is, and you don't get credits for anything in the future. That's the cost of home ownership. Another thing I want to point out is it's very good to ask for safety items. So when I say that, I'm talking about electrical systems, drop-offs that don't have good railings, maybe the stair banister is shaky, maybe the electrical box has something in it that'll make it potentially dangerous. You want to ask for those. Those are very good things to ask for on that repair amendment. Now, another thing I like to do is try and manage your expectations when you're talking about that inspection. You get that inspection report and you think, oh my goodness, what am I buying? I'm buying a hunk of junk. And it'll say the outlets in the kitchen are not up to code, the hot water heater is not up to code, this is not up to code. You're going to have a whole list. Can you expect them to bring the house up to code? No. The code changes every year. So when that house was built, remember we're not talking about new construction. So when that house was built, was good for when it was built. If it was built 5 years ago, it was good for the code 5 years ago. As long as all those systems are functioning correctly, you can't really expect to get it all up to code. So that brings in what is good to negotiate with. Now there's several thoughts on this. One is to get them to do it because when you go into something, say there's a window that's cracked and you don't want to do it, you want them to fix it, you might have to delay closing, but if they fix it and they go in to repair that window and there's wood problems or something else that they find when we're repairing that window, they're going to be responsible for that. Now, the other way to think of it is they let it get into this disrepair. The things they have done might not be very good. So I think I'd rather have a credit or money towards closing instead of them doing the repairs, and I'll take care of all of them. I can get who I want. I know it'll be done well. Or maybe I don't care if they repair that window because I'm going to add on to the room and push it out. So I'm just going to ask for a credit for that cracked window. There's many different ways to do it. If you have a good licensed realtor, they'll be able to help guide you through that process. That's it for Traci's tips. I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe.